Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message finds you. And now, let me show you guys our Wheel of Wisdom. Just a moment. So, my dear ones, this is our Wheel of Wisdom. And as you guys can see, this wheel contains the name of 50 plus books that I have read over the past 10 years. And now I invite you to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need guidance on today? And see if something specific emerges for you, and hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came up for us is Think Better Thoughts by Thibaut Miros. So let me open this book and see what is the message that wants to arrive in our life from this book, which is Think Better Thoughts. So let me show you guys the book. This is our book, Think Better Thoughts. And now let me, pick some numbers so that we can play a game together. Okay. So, my dear ones, before I share the number, let me share the, rules of this game or the instructions for this game. So, in a moment from now, I'm going to ask you guys to pick a number, and you can just see what is the first number that pops up for you, trusting your own inner wisdom. You can share that in the comments, that number, and then I will go through all your numbers and pick a number that I am feeling most called to. So thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad to see you excited. But okay. Love the excitement, but give me a moment to share the numbers between which I want you guys to choose. So pick a number between 11 to 146, and there is no rush. I pick a number randomly. Okay, so take your time. So Hawaii's number fall between the two. Elizabeth, dear, would you mind sharing another number between these numbers? Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to wait a moment so that anyone else who wants to share a number can do so. Hi, Doug. Thank you for sharing a number. Nice to see you here again. Mm, okay, it's interesting. I was thinking like you might choose something, either Hawaii's number or maybe, some other number because you like seven more. But it is interesting that you went with Elizabeth's number. Hmm. Okay. Anyone else who wants to share a number? Oh, okay. That's lovely, Elizabeth. Ah, and my birthday also falls on 11th. Lovely, lovely. Okay. Would you like to share the month if if you feel called? Ah, and I'm so happy because because no one else has shared a number and we got double number, which is 11 from Elizabeth and V. So we are going with number 11. So let's see what wants to come through page number 11, which is also Elizabeth's birthday. So, what is the message that the universe wants to deliver to Elizabeth and we? Oh, okay. It just, it just passed. I hope that you had a fun birthday, Elizabeth. And I hope that you have an even lovelier year, like may all the joy, love, and, support that you need finds your way to you. Arya says 11 or November is my birthday month. Oh, Arya. Okay, so you are in the same alignment with the birthday month number. Interesting, huh? Okay, I'm really excited to see what wants to come through page number 11. Oh, okay. So, so what came up is a thought, very common thought that most people have. And it is also, by the way, the name of my most popular track, which is There is Something Wrong with Me. Because a lot of people, believe that there is something wrong with me for so many reasons. So the universe wants to tell us something if you also believe that, or if you have been lately, having that thought that is there something wrong with me. So yeah. Okay. So the author says many people go through life with the unpleasant or even crippling feeling that something is wrong with them. They assume that they have issues nobody will ever understand, and this prevents them from being fully loved or accepted. In reality, we all have problems we are unable to solve. We all have past mistakes which we cannot erase and behaviors we are ashamed of or feel guilty about. However, these past issues are what makes us human. We don't have to let our so called problems prevent us from being happy and moving towards our dream. So, the author says that nothing is fundamentally wrong with you. In fact, you are just being human. Now close your eyes for a moment. You can do so right now as well. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are complete right here, right now. Let that sink in. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are complete right here, right now. And notice how does this makes you feel. So, if you like that feeling, you can carry this new empowering belief with you that nothing is wrong with me. I am fine the way I am. Notice what it feels like to be accepted by yourself, maybe even for the first time in your life. Believing that there is nothing fundamentally wrong with you. All your struggles, weaknesses, quirks, parts of you that you don't like about yourself are just you being human. Because sometimes when sometimes we think that there's something wrong with me for having this, for, having this habit, for having this quality, for having this weakness, for having this, personality trait, and so on and so forth, for having this illness, for having this kind of past. what happens is that we distance ourselves from others because we think there's something wrong with me, that I am not normal, you know, and that prevents us to, gather this evidence that other people can accept us and even love us the way we are, you know. And that makes us, because we don't get that evidence, we feel like, you know, no one will ever accept me with the flaws that I have, no one can truly love me, or if they truly knew everything about me, they would just leave me, and all of those different kind of things. So this belief distance us from others and distance us from seeing that we can be accepted, that we are like others also. It distance us, from seeing that, okay, other people are also like me, they have their own set of problems, they have their own set of self doubts and everything. And this is just the part of, you know the deal of being human. So, this is the reminder from the universe for you that there is nothing wrong with you if you have been struggling to believe that. So, yeah, let me know, Elizabeth and V, if this resonated with you at all. And anyone else also, if this resonated, if something else is coming up for you from this reading, feel free to share that in the comments. Arya says exactly what I wanted to hear. I was in fear of falling into my old behavior and patterns. But yes, nothing is wrong with me. I'm just being human. It's a strength that I can control me better now. Exactly, And I applaud you for taking on this path of, trying to like change a particular behavior of yours, because most people don't have the courage to, move beyond denial and to even recognize that there is a problem with a certain behavior, and then to take steps towards it. And it's okay, to have setbacks, to fall back on those things, to do the same thing that you used to do sometimes again, because it is an indication of your progress, that you have took a step. It is a natural part of any behavioral change journey that we take certain, we take 3 steps ahead, and then we take 2 steps back, and then we take 3 steps ahead, and then we take 2 steps back, but yet we are ahead from where we started, and it might not feel like that in those moments, but that is the truth, that sometimes our mind blocks us from seeing. uh Elizabeth says, yes, I finally accepted how I am, different, and I love myself like that. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you for being you. Thank you for accepting yourself, and thank you for loving you, because that in itself, like, it's a wonderful light, you know, that the people around you might see, from there, like from wherever they are in that tunnel, like when you accept yourself as you are, it kind of gives them the permission to do that as well in some way. So kudos to you. I am so happy that you have learned to accept and love yourself, and this is like, maybe a confirmation from the universe that you are on the right path. Ah, Ara says, but it's hard when still judge you for when you have done what you have done when people still judge you for what you have done in the past. Yes, it is. It is hard. And you know what you need most in those moments when people judge you and it feels so hard is your own support, is you backing you, like there should be someone on your side too, if other people are judging you. So make sure that you have that someone, that you are there for yourself in those moments. Right, Arya? Elizabeth says, my past has made me who I am. Exactly, and we all have, kind of made mistakes, have done things that we regret. And the thing is that we did the best we could with the knowledge that we had at those moments, right? So we need to remember that. And And there is going to be no good that is going to come out from berating ourselves over what has happened in the past. We can only move ahead. We cannot go back and erase those parts from our past. So we need to decide what is the best course of action moving ahead. And that never, criticizing never really is a helpful next action, moving forward. So thank you so much, Arya Elizabeth, for sharing, all these reflections from this reading and for letting me know that it resonated or like it is something that you have been working on. It's really nice and it is also inspiring for others who are in this space. So thank you for doing that. Okay, guys. So now let us move on to our next book and to the next message that the universe wants to send our way. So first, I will take a sip of water and then we will take out the next book. Mm. Lisa says, just joining. Hello, Anisha. Hello, everyone here. Hi, Lisa. Nice to have you here. I was expecting you since it is a weekend and it's so nice to have you here. And by the way, I'm also on tomorrow. Okay. Elizabeth says, becoming a competitive skater helped me to understand my mistakes and how many times I fell down before I became a winner. Wow, Elizabeth. And that is amazing that you are in competitive skater, and I guess, yeah, no one can ever, like truly understand the importance of those mistakes and failures, as you might do from your own experience. So thank you for sharing that and how, and sharing, like, that you are going to fall down if you have taken this route, if you have chose that you're going to skate, that you're going to compete, you are also going to fall down the moment you put your skates on. That is the expectation that we might have, that this is going to happen sometime or other. And you will fall down, but you can also get back up and you can work on the mistakes. You can learn from those mistakes, what you did wrong, and then you can improve, I don't know, moves or something from that. So, yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing that. And it's amazing. Wow. Okay. So, now taking out the wheel again. Okay. And before I spin the wheel, there's a resource that popped up in my head in case you struggle with self judgment. So let me see. Mm. Yeah, there it is. So, this technique that I'm sharing is from the therapeutic approach called DBT, dialectical behavior therapy. So, you can check it out and see if, this is the tool that might help you in the moments when you're criticizing yourself, when you're judging yourself, and even others as well. So, yeah, you can check this one out. Okay. Mm, Now, again, bring to your mind something you need guidance on and hold that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Oh, so the book that came up is Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron. Sarah says, Namaste. I missed the meditation. No issues, Sarah. Yeah, I was like wondering, I was hoping that you would come up during the meditation, but no problem. I record those. So you can, later on check out that meditation that, I created for you. You can find it. Give me a second. Yeah. So when you go to my profile, the homepage would open. It is taking a moment to load. Yeah. So it will open, and when you scroll down to the very bottom, so you will see these playlists, and in this playlist called Therapy Tools and Techniques, you will find that the guided meditation that I guided today would appear later on. So I have to like edit it and submit it. So you can think like maybe in 1 or 2 weeks. So yeah. And the, so since I have opened it, so the like um negative thought that came up during a first reading, which was like, there is something wrong with me. So I have a track on that as well, and many other common negative thoughts. So if you struggle with negative thinking, then all of you, like you might want to check out this playlist just above it called Little Reminders for You. And in that, there is this first track only, which is called like, there's something wrong with me. And you can check out other ones also, like, I'm not good enough, what if I, what if I fail, what if I make the wrong decision, and so on and so forth. So yeah, if there is a negative thought that you struggle with, you can open it and see if I have a track on it. And if not, you can like request it on my group, so I will create something special, for you. So yeah. So yeah, I asked you to bring to your mind anything that you need guidance on. Okay, yeah, we chose the book. Sorry, we chose the book. So yeah, opening the book now, which was our second book, Comfortable with Uncertainty. So I forgot. I got like sidetracked. Comfortable with Uncertainty. So here is our book. And now let me scroll to choose some numbers so that we can play a game together. So, my dear ones, I invite you guys to pick a number between 17 to 128. Yeah, take your time and pick a number between 17 to 128. And yeah, and Arya have shared a track especially for you for what you've shared before, like, you did an old behavior again. So yeah, this might be something that you might want to listen to. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, V. Okay, we have 77 from V now. Thank you, Arya. Thank you, Doug. Anyone else who feels called to share a number? Thank you, Sarah. Oh, Lisa and Sarah are close. Like their numbers. Ah, okay. Sarah is feeling called towards two numbers. Interesting. Okay. But I would say, always go with the first number, because, like, with the second number, your mind goes into thinking too much. So, yeah, the first number just comes out from the gut. But, anyways, I would consider it. Anyways. Okay. So, seems like everyone who wanted to share a number has done so. So, now let's pick numbers. Oh, okay. There are two Sarahs. Is that so? Okay. Ah. Elizabeth has shared the day of her eye surgery, like 22. Like, is it something that is upcoming in this month only, Elizabeth? Okay, so until Alice, okay, yeah. Okay, it just happened. Ah, Elizabeth, then I hope that, you are recovering well. And maybe, yeah, and if you need, like, you can, put the phone down on the side and you can just listen if it is like putting a too much strain on your eyes. And I so appreciate you being here despite that. And I'm sending like so much, you know, healing energy, hoping that they would recover. Well, so yeah. Thank you, Sarah, for sending, lovely wish to Elizabeth. Okay, we got three Sarahs. Yay. Lovely, lovely. So our third and unique, and special Sarah, would you like to also choose a number? The first two Sarahs, like they had the same, profile picture. So I was like, okay, it's the same Sarah. Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Uh, Elizabeth is also, sorry, Arya is also sending wishes to Elizabeth. Okay. So yeah, you're welcome, Sarah. And so is we. I love, the community here. Ah, okay, so now let me choose some numbers while Elizabeth soak in these beautiful, beautiful wishes. Okay, let's see. Mhm. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is mm, 98, and the number has been chosen by Sarah. I was feeling like really pulled towards two numbers, so yeah. Okay, Sarah says, I love your energy. Ooh. And I love having you. Thank you for sharing a part of that energy, for your beautiful presence. So, yeah, let's see what wants to come through page number 98. Mhm. Okay, so the heading is Practice the Three Difficulties. Sounds challenging. Okay, let's see. The three difficulties are acknowledging neurosis as neurosis. You can think of it like nervous energy in a way, like anxieties, in that direction. Doing something, the second difficulty is doing something different. And the third one is aspiring to continue practicing this way. So, the author further says, acknowledging that we are all churned up is the first and most difficult step. Without recognition that we are stuck, it is impossible to liberate ourselves from confusion. So, that is the first step. Like you recognize that you are stuck, that you're doing something wrong, that there is a problem, that this needs to change, this needs to, be worked upon, right? So that is our first step, acknowledgement that there is something going on, within us that needs our attention, just like we did in our meditation. Then our second step is doing something different. So doing something different is anything that interrupts our strong tendency to spin out. We can let the storyline go and connect with the underlying energy. So we let the story from our minds go and we connect with that underlying energy, the, emotions, the feelings, the sensations beneath it, or the deeper beliefs beneath it. Do on the spot tonglang. So any practice you can, insert here. And I think this one especially like sending, when you so as far as I remember, the practice of tongling is basically when you inhale, like if your loved one or someone is suffering, so you inhale the suffering of that loved one and you send, like a relief or whatever else that you want to send to them. So you do that, you exchange that, like you are not taking in their suffering, it's just you are, helping them process it in a way. So you can also, practice that. Or as Sarah says, loving kindness, you can practice metta as well. Or any practice, basically, breaking the strong, tendency to spin out, to go with the urge, to go with that impulse, and to break that and do something else. um, so yeah, you can like do that practice. You can remember a slogan or an affirmation, or you can burst into song, just doing something that doesn't reinforce that crippling habit, that habit that you want to change, that thing that you want to change. So not doing that same thing, instead doing something different that is helpful. So that is the second part. First was recognizing, you know, like, okay, there's something going on that needs our attention, that needs to be changed, recognizing that there is a problem. Second is doing something different, so not going with the original urge, impulse, and doing something different, not letting the emotion or the mind pull you into whatever it is brimming up, and changing the narrative, changing the way you respond to that instead of reacting. And I have created, I don't know, like 4 or 5 resources on that. If you like, if you know need um so let me know if you need guidance on how to do that, like how to not get pulled into that strong urge, into that mind story, and do the action that is actually healthy for you, to respond instead of react. So let me know if you want me to share that resource in the comments. And yeah, exactly. Sarah says opposite action. So in fact, I actually, that was one of the resources, Sarah, that I was going to share. So okay, give me a second. I haven't named that exactly, opposite action, which is a practice from DBT. Uh, but I created a whole guided practice on that opposite action. It was I have renamed them to simplify. So yeah. Okay, there was this one. So this is, like the guided opposite action practice. And I've like made suggestions as to what can be the opposite action for different emotions that you're feeling. So if you need guidance in that moment, because sometimes it is like very difficult to apply it if you haven't been practicing it for a while, then you can go, you can use this. And yeah, while I share that, let me also share like 2, 3 more resources for you know, for that, like on responding instead of reacting. So there was this mini practice as well. Elizabeth says, all of a sudden I saw you as a little girl. My subconscious told me this is exactly how you looked about age 5. Ah, okay, you saw me as a little girl. It is ah, it is interesting. Or you saw Sarah. Let me know. That is so lovely. I love that. And it is like, I don't know what to say. Okay. Elizabeth say, I no, I saw you on the live. Hmm. But that is like so interesting. Like the other day in my live day before yesterday, we guided a practice. Like the universe, shared a practice with us, a reading, which was like imagining, the person, especially the person who irritates you. But yeah, imagining that person like as a baby, and also imagining that person as like a very old person. So this gives us perspective that okay, they were a baby, they were innocent, they were like, ah, like they were so pure souls. So yeah, it gives us some perspective. So it's lovely like how that happened for you all of a sudden. Thank you for sharing that, Elizabeth. That's so that's so nice. Okay, so what was I doing? Yeah, I was sharing resources. Let me see. Yeah, so you can save if any of the resource resonate with you, and if not, you can ignore them. Let's see. this other one. Yeah, so if you like feel a very strong urge to indulge in an old behavior, then there was this practice which is, called urge surfing. So if you like feel this very, very strong urge to, to eat something unhealthy, to smoke, to indulge in any kind of substance abuse, to do all of those different things that are not healthy for you. And if you feel like this strong urge that I can, like, what should I do right now? So if you want, some tool to help you ride that wave of urge, then you can go for this one. And if you need a shorter one, because this is like a 16-minute one, then I created this. I've been doing like a lot of, therapy techniques in the season of Wheel of Wisdom. So yeah, that's why I have a lot of resources. And I'm glad that, they are there so that anyone who needs them can like save it and later on practice, later on learn that technique. So yeah. So these were like related to urges and how to change, how to do something differently, as our second, step was. And the last resource, as I said, I have 5 resources kind of, many more, but yeah, I don't want to like overload the space here. But yeah, and if you struggle with the storyline, because there was that also, sometimes our mind keep us hooked. So yeah, if you struggle with that, then this is one of the resources that I have around thoughts. So you can check this one out as well. Okay. So the second step, the first step was again acknowledging that, this is happening. Okay, we become aware of it. Second step was doing something different. I've shared everything that I can. Not everything, but yeah, the main ones here to help you do things differently. And then the third difficult practice is to then remember that we need to keep doing the first two. That is the main point, because that is something that we forget to do, that we learn a tool, we do a practice, you do a practice here in the live, you learn about it here in the live, but you forget later on. So you need to, first of all, if you like do it in a more organized way with someone like a coach or therapist, you become aware of all your problems, you learn different tools, like how do I respond differently, if not how I used to. You learn those tools and then you need to practice them. The more you practice, the more you come back to that tool again and again, especially when you are facing little stressors in your life or the problems in less intensity. Then you could practice it in those kind of crisis moments. Then you would remember to practice it. Otherwise you won't, because your this thinking mind kind of like shuts down and that emotional one takes over in those moments. So if you haven't feed it, like if that network in your brain has not become strong enough with practice, then you are not going, that network is not going to be activated in those moments. So you need to build those muscles, and the only way is to practice it again and again and again and again, and then you will remember to do it. So yeah, those were our 3 steps. uh so yeah, let me know, Sarah. Any of the Saras, but yeah, especially whose number I chose, which is 98. So yeah, let me know if this resonated with you, or anyone else also, if this resonated with you, if something is coming up for you from this, you can share it in the comments. Okay, and Sarah said thank you. I missed that. You're welcome, Sarah. Um, okay, so I'm going to take a sip in case anyone is typing, and then we will move on to the next part. I'm thinking, should we do another book, like one last book, one last message for today, or should we wrap up? Still thinking. Sarah says, it resonates with me. Thank you for the resources. You're welcome, Sarah. I'm glad that they resonated. This message resonated and that you found resources like helpful in a way. Sarah says, yes, I'm very familiar with step one. Need to do step three. Exactly. Yeah, sometimes the awareness, bites us back in that way. Like, I'm very aware of what is, what I need to change and all of that. But uh, I need to just remember to do the right thing in the right moment, at that exact moments. So, yeah, I get you. And the only way to remember to do it is kind of practicing it more. There are other ways, like you can, change your environment in a way so you remember it, but uh, the best way is to practice it. So, yeah, V says, yes, please. Okay, V. So, since you requested it, I'm going to do one more, reading for today. Okay. So, again, bring to your mind anything that you need guidance on. So, holding that in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the next book, the final book that we got from the universe is Change Your Life in 7 Days by Paul McKenna. So, are you guys ready to change your life? Okay, let's see what wants to come through this book. And for this one, we would not be able to play the game where I ask you guys to pick a number because I did not have the original book that I read, but I have my notes from this book because I didn't plan on doing this 10 years ago. So yeah, so these are my notes. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to close my eyes, scroll through these notes until I feel like this is the section that everyone needs to hear from. So I will stop at it and I will read it out. Okay. So we will have like a collective reading for everyone to wrap this live. So, and as I do so, you can also, bring to your mind whatever it is that you need guidance on. So, holding that in your mind as I close my eyes and scroll. Hmm. Okay. It was pretty quick. Ah. So there's a quote that came up, which is there is no such thing as bad weather, only the wrong clothes. Billy Connolly. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Again, the quote is there is no such thing as bad weather, only the wrong clothes. So, your experience of life is primarily affected by the perspective you view it from, depending upon the meaning we give to situations or events, we feel and behave differently. So, my dear ones, this is a reminder that there is no such thing as a bad weather, only the wrong clothes. So, there is no such thing like, so basically, our perspective, we are the one who is creating our own reality. And if we want to change our life, if we want to change our reality, we need to change our mindset. We need to change the way we look at things because what we think about things, what we think about a particular situation is decides the way we feel. And the way we feel decides the kind of behavior that we are going to do in that, situation. And what we do decides the results that we're going to get. And the results kind of reinforce that original thought that we have. So there is like a whole cycle that goes on. And this exact, message that came up, I have like, dive in deeper. Like I've created a whole lesson around this in that course that I shared with you before. It is, I think, the second lesson or something. I don't remember now. But yeah, you can check it out and it will like, so you can learn from there, like what is the whole cycle and how you can change the way you think so that you feel differently, you behave differently, and you get different results in your life, the results that you want, so that you can get the life that you want, that your heart deeply deeply desires. So I have like shared different tools in which you can learn to question your mind instead of blindly believing whatever it tells you, instead of going with the story, becoming a part of that drama, that whole, like movie that your mind is playing. So I have included like different tools that you can use to challenge them, to question them. And if you want, like specific tools for specific thoughts, because there are certain patterns of thoughts that most people have based on, so this, like, I'm not just saying it, based on like, I think two or mostly like CBT, another therapy approach, if you haven't heard of it. There are different categories in of thoughts, of negative thought patterns that most people have in, on this earth as a human being. So if you want, you can, I've created a whole course around it where I have shared those patterns, like, all the negative ways in which people think. And for each particular thought, also have shared, a set of techniques, different techniques. You can try them and see. You can go through it. You can see which of those thoughts that you have. You can use those techniques to, counter those thoughts in that moment, to change them to something more helpful, to something more healthy in that moment. So yeah, if you need like all of those tools, you can check this out. And mm, and the third resource that I have for you is that playlist that I shared with you before, which was called Little Reminders for You. So this, so these are like different patterns of thinking. Like sometimes, we minimize things, sometimes we maximize them. Like we make what it is said, like a mountain out of molehill, so sometimes we catastrophize, so that kind of thinking. Or sometimes we are like, okay, either this is that or this is not, like either, this was a good day or it was a bad, but we forget about all the, moments. Some were good, some were bad, some were neutral, so there are different kind of thinking patterns that I've included in this one. But if you want to like, if you want to generally have like a more positive mindset, then I have included like, specific thoughts and like, the more of an opposite or a more healthy way of thinking in that playlist that I shared with you, which is what's called Little Reminders for You. So if you, yeah, if you want like more of some positivity, a balanced positivity rather than toxic one. So if you want like a mindset shift, a perspective shift when you're feeling very low, when you're feeling like everything is falling apart, when you're feeling like you know, I just can't get things right, I'm not good enough, and all of those different things. Then to pick you up, you can check out that playlist that I shared on my profile in the home section, which usually opens when you scroll to the bottom. There's this playlist called Little Reminders for You. And here you will find something, you will. Um, and I'm creating more and more here to be there, in a way when you are at your lowest. Like this playlist is something that is very, very, very close to my heart. It is like my favorite playlist. So yeah, if you need like, something in those moments, then I hope that you will find it. So I'm just sharing one of the tracks from here or from there here so that, you know, you get the idea. Okay. We says interesting how the three messages fit together today. Exactly, isn't it? It's like we were weaving something and now we see the, final picture and it's like, wow, everything was so connected. Everything makes sense now. Thank you, V, for that comment and for that request. I'm glad that you said yes to continuing this live and that we got this beautiful and the message that there is no such thing as bad weather, only the wrong clothes. So, yeah. Okay. So, I hope that you found something helpful from this live today, that whether it was the readings, the meditation, or it was just, a piece of wisdom that you received from the book, from me, from anyone else in the comments, or just the energy of the space. So I hope that you receive something valuable to you from this beautiful, beautiful space that all of you guys have made possible. And in case you feel like supporting the space, you can make a small donation so that I can continue, holding the space day and day again. And I can continue creating more and more resources so that anyone who need guidance, support can have the right guidance and support when they need it most. Ah, okay, let's see. Lisa says, thank you very much, Anisha. You're welcome, Lisa. It was lovely having you. Thank you for staying till the end. David says, I must remember that we wear a lot of the wrong clothes here in England. Because you can never tell the weather. Is that so? So David received a very helpful message, like a literal message from the reading. Interesting. David, so I hope that every time you put on clothes, somehow magically you put on the right clothes for that weather. Ah, thank you for making us laugh. Then thank you, Doug, for this kind contribution. I'm glad that something from the space touched you. Thank you so much. And I hope that mm, something beautiful, beautiful flows into your life like the waves of the ocean flows, to the shore. So yeah, thank you. Okay. So and I have back-to-back lives, tomorrow and then day after tomorrow. Usually I do like on alternate days, but I felt called to do, three continuous lives. So I hope that you find, you like this live and you want to come back and join me again. Oh, thank you, V, for this generous donation. I can't, tell you that like how much this means to me. So thank you so, so much for supporting my work. And I hope that you continue to find the things that you need most at the right time in your life. May you feel supported, may you feel loved, may you feel appreciated in life for the person that you are. Thank you. Uh, okay, there is another message. Let me just share the next live and then I will read it. Mm, David says, I was very late today, so I am really happy that you are back again tomorrow. Yeah, so am I, David. Now I know why I felt called to schedule the live tomorrow. And I hope that we can, our times can collide and you can be in the same space again. Oh, David, even though you're late, like, even though like you just joined, you chose to. uh, support me. That is so kind of you. Thank you. You didn't need to do that, but I'm like so grateful. Thank you. Ah, okay, guys. Let's see. Mm, I was thinking, should I do more? But no, I feel like my body needs some rest. So yeah, I'm going to honor that as well. So yeah. So for anyone who is new to the space, I want to take like 5 more minutes of your time to share, you know, everything that I have to offer you, everything that I have created for you. So I would appreciate if you can stay like for 5 more minutes And for those who are, a regular here, who know what I'm going to say, if you want to say goodbye, you can do that as well. And if you want to stay with me for a while, repeating, listening to me repeat the same things, that is also more than okay. So yeah, I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to share, you know, all like a little bit about what I offer. Okay. Thank you, Sarah, for joining in. It was lovely to have you here. And may you too have a wonderful and magical day today. Okay. So, so for those of you who have decided to stay, let me share the three places where you can find everything that I have to offer. And I really, really hope that you find what you need most right now in your life. So, my dear ones, the first place is when you go to my profile. This is what opens like the home page. So, when you scroll down, so just above my group, which is World of Wisdom, where I'm going to post a summary of this live, like the exact readings and the name of the books and authors. So if you want that, you can like join this beautiful community of 145 beautiful beings. But yeah, anyway, so the first place you can find my offerings is the playlist section just above the group. So I have 5 playlists for you guys, and I'm going to just name them so that in case you need, that in your life, then you can go and check it out. You can save it because I'm adding a lot of practices to these. So yeah. So there's this first one, which is a free 21-day mindfulness challenge. Then there is the second one, which is basically you can think of it as a nervous system regulation challenge. I am going to add like a total of 100 or even more nervous system regulation techniques here, like for when you're feeling, you know, um, anxious, angry, or when you're feeling like, depressed, numb, disconnected, or when you're feeling a mix of both. Like there is energy, but you should do something, you want to do something, but you can't uh, make your body move, So for all these states, I'm going to release the practices for specific states, like specific techniques for specific states. So yeah, you can check it out and see. You can try them and see if you like a particular tool. Then there is this wheel of wisdom, pick a meditation. So this is basically like what we do here in the lives when I ask you guys to pick a number. Here I have made a game out of this playlist so that you find the right meditation, the right guidance that you need, so that the universe can choose a meditation for you every day. And all the tracks here are free because of the donations that have been made during the live. So yeah, I wanted to offer like a resource for everyone, even if you don't have premium or something. So yeah, there is that. And then there is little reminders for you, which I have told you about. It contains like 3 to 5 minute tracks, or even shorter sometimes. And they are supposed to be soothing, calming, and to shift your perspective to make you feel hopeful and empowered by the end of it. So, yeah, if you struggle with negative thoughts, you might want to check it out. And the final one is therapy tools and techniques. So here I share different, techniques or meditations based on different therapy approaches. So yeah, you can check it out and see if you find, some technique for the problem that you are struggling with. So yeah, these are all the 5 playlists and the first place where you find all of my offerings. And now I'm going to briefly share about the second and third place. So, second place is the courses section. When you scroll down, you will find all of my 7 courses, including the ones that I've shared here on negative thoughts, mindfulness, acceptance, So yeah, you can just check it out and see if there is something for you in this section. And the final and the last place where you find all of my offerings is when you go to the About section and you scroll down. Here, you will find all of my other offerings and also the recording of this live here and all the previous lives. So yeah, you can check it out and see what other things that I have to offer. So yeah, those are the three places where you can find everything that I have created for you. So I hope that something resonated from that show, and I really, really appreciate you for listening so patiently till the end, and especially the ones who are regular here. It just, I don't know, it just warms my heart that like you guys just know what I'm going to say, and still like you choose to spend more time with me anyway. So yeah, it just, I don't know what to say to that. Sarah says, do you cover radical acceptance? Yes, Sarah, I have so that course that I mentioned about acceptance. So yeah, I have yeah, I cover radical acceptance, like everything around it and much more in that course. So I hope that you will, like the exercises, the fun stuff, and the, sometimes challenging stuff presented in a way that feels, doable. So, yeah, let me share it here so that you can directly access it. Okay. V says, grateful for you and all of the resources you created for us, Anisha. Thank you. Thank you, V. I am so very grateful, to have you in the space. It's nice to see you more, now. And I hope to see you even more in the future lives. And thank you so much for your presence, for your love, for your support. It means a lot. Thank you. Okay, guys. So we have 2000 gratitude hearts here, for which also I'm so grateful. Thank you so, so much for your love. It just makes me so happy. Ah, I guess now is the perfect moment to wrap this live. So I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you all feel loved and supported. May you receive a miracle from the universe today. Ah, Sarah says, thank you so much. This is okay, I missed David's comment. Sorry. David says, all your live sessions and resources are wonderful. Thank you, Anisha. Oh, David, thank you so, so much for, coming back here again and again. It just means so much to me. And for going through like everything that I've created. I know since you also create music, it's just such a warm feeling to see people receive your creations, in that manner. So yeah, thank you. Sarah says, thank you so much. This is my first time using this platform. Oh, is it? Ah, Sarah, then a warm, warm welcome to Inside Timer. I really hope that you receives a kind of guidance and support and love and acceptance from this community. It is like really, really, the people here are amazing, and so are the teachers. So I really hope that you love, this chapter of your life, and that something beautiful comes out of this space for you. So thank you for being here and for being here in this, live as well. David says namaste, namaste. We says yes, welcome Sarah. Please come back. Yes, please do. We all loved having you here, and we would like to see you again. Okay, so my lovely, amazing group of people, thank you so much for spending your precious, precious time with me. And I hope to see you back here again in the next live, which is tomorrow at the same time. And then in another one as well, which is day after tomorrow. Sarah says it was great. I will be back for sure. Yay, we will have Sarah again here. Lovely. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, bye. I will see you soon. Till then, take care.